Good morning to everybody and a happy Wednesday morning. I hope your week is going well. Well, do you guys remember back when Harry and Meghan tried to distance themselves from their 6-part Netflix docuseries where they slammed the royal family? Well, it looks like they're trying to do that again. So I have some small stories and then the one big story. There's a lot to cover. Let's jump in. Let's get there. Let's go. We're going to start out with this from Twitter. Thank you to J.E. Mann, pointing out that Vanity Fair, Harry and Meghan's go-to magazine, reported that Eugenie and Jack are the only extended family members to have ever visited Harry and Meghan in California. Really? I thought that Diana's sisters visited in California for Lily's supposed baptism. Remember that? I think they just outed themselves accidentally. All right, let's move on to our next quick little story. Well, I found this one interesting. Apparently, Harry's book, The Spare, has been named the most traded in autobiography for the second year in a row. Over 500 readers have traded in their copy of the book. Remember, when the book came out, it was already half off, and then the price dropped repeatedly on Amazon and Awesome Books. Initially, the book sold for £9, and then it, temporarily dropping from £10. Well, now you can turn it in for basically £4. You try to get your money back. Why not? All right, the next short little thing we're going to touch on is the fact that there are ornaments crafted from colored glass. They stand 12 to 13 centimeters tall. They're about 40 pounds each, and they're from Selfridge Royals Bauble collection. And people are talking about the fact that Harry and Meghan are not, being put out there with Catherine and William and King Charles. And the joke is you can't find their baubles because theirs are located in the bargain bin. Moving on. All right, the next small little story that came out, I believe, is a puff piece put out by Harry and Meghan because everybody knows that Meghan is the dominant one in the relationship and that Harry's basically a wimp. And so they're putting out these pieces saying Harry is now taking the lead. Meghan no longer wears the trousers in the relationship. He has become the dominant one, more dominant and powerful. I don't think so, guys. You can't undo 5 years of being trampled on by your wife. Like, putting out these puff pieces isn't going to change our opinion. That's what he doesn't get. Okay, before we move on, I want to go back to the picture that Harry and Meghan put out for Christmas. In my opinion, the more I look at it, it's AI. It's absolutely not real. Let me give you my reasons for that. It's not just a bad Photoshop. Look at Harry's hand there. His thumb is out to the side, and then he has 5 fingers. So he's got 6 fingers on his hand. Number 2, if you look a little bit closer at Harry, he has no beard. I don't even think the mustache is showing. So, and Lily looks like she's headed for Meghan, not Harry. We've already covered all the other picture problems, Lily's leg the wrong size. Lily's the same size as Archie, who's supposedly 2 years older. Meghan's foot is in the wrong position. I think they did this AI thing. I think they tried to add lighting, which is why all the shading looks fake. I don't even think this is them. I think they had an AI picture done and they put it out, and that's it. That's my opinion. Now, I told you guys yesterday in my video that I thought that Meghan was cosplaying Diana with the big open-armed, hug thing. And sure enough, the Daily Mail picked up the exact same thing that I did. This was Harry and Meghan's nod to Princess Diana. Sweet snap parallels Princess Diana with her 2 children. Guys, all right, now as if that wasn't enough, it seems that Omid Scobie, who we haven't heard from in a while, is lurking around. You have to read through these ridiculous bait-click articles to get to the meat of it, and what it says is that the card was shared by their longtime friend, Omid Scobie. Really? So they're still good friends, and they're probably still feeding information to him. I'm sure there'll be another book. Now, in looking at the other pictures that were used in this Christmas card, this very bland Christmas card, you see the upper right photo? I'm shocked they used this one. Here are Meghan's hands circled in orange. I've shown you this before. Here are Harry's hands circled in blue, and there is another set of hands in the middle. This is another Photoshop fail. They just threw it on the card, but why am I not shocked? All right, let's move on to our other stories for today already. Let's go. These articles now are coming out saying that Harry and Meghan's Netflix contract is now on Meghan's shoulders and she can turn it around. With the cooking show, that's the make or break. I got to tell you, I think that ship has already sailed. Their deal is so dead in the water, it's not funny. But at this point, Netflix wants to put something out. They're trying to get some bang for their buck, and that's why they released the Polo documentary, in my humble opinion. Now, it's because of this that Netflix bosses, it's being reported, are absolutely exhausted working with Meghan Markle. Exhausted. That's the word that they used. And they said that the deliverable, what they're getting for their effort, is not worth it because she's such a pain to work with. Ooh, that is, let me tell you something, that is some not good comments. Now, another entertainment executive apparently said, again, this show has to be an enormous hit. But I got to be honest, I don't think it's going to be. Nobody knows the name of it. It doesn't have a CEO. It doesn't have a trademark. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? You know, there's a lot of talk about Joanne Gaines. You guys remember her? She's her and her husband, Chip Gaines. Netflix was apparently desperate to sign them back in 2017, but they decided to go with Warner HBO, who offered them their actual own TV channel. And they're saying that Meghan is going to strike a chord because she looks like her. I don't think she looks anything like her, not even close. What are they talking about? It does appear that Netflix has actually been trying to distance itself from this show. There's been no attempt by Netflix to really promote the series, which is really unheard of. They have no poster campaigns for this latest project. Its sole promotional attempt is a 2-line statement from Harry on the streamer's website. That's it. And now that the show has gotten such scathing reviews, it's being reported by an insider, if you can imagine this, that Harry and Meghan had the show taken out of their control, that they are exhausted. They tried their best, but Netflix took it away from them and they had little control over the program. I can't believe it. According to the articles, the Netflix bosses wanted the series to appeal to the masses, and they are the ones who pushed the reality TV slant. So it's really not entirely Harry and Meghan's fault, which is pretty ironic because after all, they've always acted so above this sort of thing. And now here they are producing the exact type of content that they've always looked down on. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Remember, we're going to be doing content that uplifts and is teachable, etc., etc., etc. Well, I find that shocking because on the 10th, the day it was released, Harry and Meghan's go-to magazine, People, that we know that they have a personal relationship with, did an article where they said that Harry and Meghan were very hands-on. The article says, and I'm quoting, "They were wonderful. They were hands-on. They had a vision for trying to get polo to be accessible. Prince Harry knows the sport inside and out. And to have him as someone to bounce ideas off of and then also to get notes from, wow, a polo expert in the house was so special." Now, of course, it wouldn't be an article for People magazine if they didn't mention Meghan and how supportive she is of Harry playing polo, and she's been to all of his polo matches, etc., etc., etc. So what's going on is, they put the show out. They had People magazine do a fabulous piece on it and how wonderful it was and how Harry and Meghan were the executive producers and they were hands-on. And because I think they honestly thought in their brains that this show was going to be a hit, and they wanted to make sure that Harry and Meghan got full credit as the executive producers. But this whole thing reminds me of something else. For those of you who don't remember, look at the date on this article. This is from November of 2022. This is the exact same thing that they were doing when they put out the Netflix 6-part series about themselves, the one where they slam the royal family at every turn. The article says Meghan was trying to put distance between herself and Harry and the new documentary because they were concerned about what was going to come out. Now, I want to remind you something. If you look at the date on this article, this is November from 2022, right before their 6-part docuseries came out. Apparently, Meghan and Harry tried to separate themselves from it before it even launched because they knew what was going to happen. And Meghan actually said in an interview that it was director Liz Garbus's project and it was a different version of things to what she would have wanted. So therefore, it made people worry about what was going to be in the show. And then they actually had the nerve to say that Harry and Meghan never wanted to do this project. After the Queen died, Harry and Meghan wanted to try to downplay much of what they said. They tried to push back the release date, like all kinds of things. But of course, the thing that really irked people is that it was filmed while the Queen was dying. Had the Queen not died when she did, she would have seen that show. How pathetic is that? So the articles are coming out now that Meghan is trying to be understanding, but she's relieved that they're distancing themselves from this polo show because she wants Harry to put more focus on his other hobbies like surfing and hiking. And it's saying that she can't ban Harry from playing polo, but it's no secret she'd rather he didn't. This is a woman who was so supportive of him playing, right? Now, they're also saying one of the reasons why she doesn't want to go to polo anymore is she really did not gel with most of the women, most of the wives, that she thought this was going to be a great social opportunity, but it hasn't been for her. And the only wife that she's gotten along with is Delphine, which is Nacho's wife. Other than that, nobody else wanted anything to do with her. Not surprised. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button to help with the algorithm. Leave your comments, then go down into the description box after you've hit like and subscribe. That's supposedly you'll get notifications. And you'll find the link to video number 2. Follow me over. You don't want to miss it. Let's go.